Quick on the track.
Many fantasies are being transformed into reality by modern science.
What's going on with you, everybody? This is your boy Conrad, aka and I am your host for this evening of the DaRealReel PodCast. Let's give it up one time for a round of applause. It seems like I might be dealing with a little bit of a lag issues today. I mean, with the world's internet going down and everything like that. But I mean, we're trying to get things situated. We're trying to get things on the go, and I'm a little bit more humble. Hold on a minute, everybody. I'm just gonna pull down this camera. ISO, ISO, ISO. Okay, camera's a little off on one screen. That's all right. That's all right. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody has had a blessed day, and I hope you are at home wherever you are, chilling with your family. If you are on the West Coast, you are 3 hours behind us, which means it is 7 p.m. What is it, Pacific Standard Time? If you're on the East Coast, you right in line with me at 10 o'clock in your evening, or maybe just about there. Salute one more time. And again, I am your host, Conrad, of the DaRealReel PodCast, and we are real people having real conversations about real things. And as you come in tonight, if you be so kind to hit the like, share, and subscribe, for we are a platform that is focusing on uplifting and motivating the minds of the many, and hopefully not intimidating the few. And as we go forward tonight, I'm looking to have, I don't want to say more of a fun night, um, but we're going to talk about some things tonight. As you see, scrolling across the timeline, we are going to be, we're dealing with the title of Heartbreak Hotel. And, that we're going to unpack some things, because I still feel that in this day and time, some things that shouldn't impact our how would you say it, things that shouldn't impact our ability to make decisions as far as relationships go, still plays a really big part. And so we need to unpack some of those things, or at least two major things, and keep it moving from there. But if you'd be so kind as usual to give us the make sure to give us the HBO special. What is that? That's the Help a Brother Out special. I need you to like, I need you to share, I need you to subscribe. It will help us in the algorithm. And I know Team Fatty and his team got stuff going on tonight, but you know what? That's a different platform, and the show must not stop over here. I'm actually kind of a little upset, to be honest with you, because I got a new piece of equipment. And I told you guys, as we going along, we're always trying to make advancements, and I'm trying to deal with the lighting situation. And I thought I got something worked out for this episode, but I guess not. And I'll be trying to work through that after tonight finishes to get some things set up. Next week and the next couple of weeks, we're going to be double teaming or going live on Instagram, because Facebook then changed up some rules, and because we ain't quite there yet, it means that we got to abide by the rules that Facebook has set out. So that's just what we're dealing with. That is exactly what we're dealing with, and it is okay. It is okay, and that's going to allow us to pivot. So next week's episode, which I believe is going to be on Tuesday at 10 p.m., will literally be on YouTube and Instagram. And then the following Tuesday after that, again, we'll be back at 10 p.m. on YouTube and Instagram again. And then we're going to be gearing up for August. And in August, if you don't know, and we'll probably have more of an official response to this on Tuesday, But our silent supporter in the back, brother LJ, has really helped us out a lot with TikTok and has blessed us and put DaRealReel in a position where we can go live from TikTok. So coming August, the first live stream in August, we will be going live from TikTok. I want to say TikTok and YouTube, but we'll see what happens. But we're definitely going to be going live from TikTok and galvanizing the crowd over there. And then as the month goes on, it'll go TikTok. Then we'll do specifically one episode on Facebook and republish that Facebook episode to YouTube. And then after that will be Instagram. And the last week in August, which is going to be a very big week in August, because kids are going back to school and doing all these different things. So we might actually have a couple streams that week. Shout out to and salute above all things to some of our brothers in the back, and you're gonna have to forgive me, but we've got to go through this because they are worth saluting, especially in my eyes. So to our supporter, and I want to say of the year, I'm not ready to post what he did. I want to save that for the last show in July. But shout out to our sponsor of 2020. And I think my thing is frozen. Oh no. I was trying to freeze up. Shout out to Will Nicosi, who is the sponsor of the DaRealReel show, and the Kava Club is the sponsor of the DaRealReel show for over the last since April. And his support and his sponsorship allowed us to do exactly what he sponsored and supported us to do. And so much love and blessings to him. Shout out to the Sophisticated Jerk and the Manic Genius. Shout out to Mr. Damien of the Can I Get Some podcast show. Shout out to all those that are recently, all the ladies that are coming in. Cray Nation, she says she might be dropping by a little bit, and if she doesn't, they've got some internet troubles going on down there, so we understand what it is. Yeah, we understand what it is, and so we're not worried about or concerned about that, but we are moving on. We are moving on. I know I don't seem as hype as I am tonight. It's because I really wanted these lights to be right. You see what I'm saying? Like camera wise, it looks good, but I'm just saying, I'm like, I really wanted. You see what I'm saying? I really wanted it to be right. I really wanted it to be right. And it looks good, but I really wanted it to be right. And this is not exactly where I wanted it. So it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress, and we is okay with that. As I was saying, shout out to Ilkhan Ali. I can't say enough about that brother, and shout out to Trey. We a couple weeks ago we had a big brother moment, and I learned a lesson. I wouldn't say I learned something new, but I learned a lesson. And shout out to our brother Maud in the chat. Shout out to Gas Mask, #1 mod for the DaRealReel podcast, and we're going to be making sure that we get his schedule going, because we definitely got to be supporting him moving forward. And I got a special shout out, not necessarily far and above, but joining the brothers. I definitely got a shout out coming along the way. And so I definitely want to not necessarily to minimize, but I want to let you guys know that shout out is coming. But as I was saying, yes, brother Ilkhan Ali, shout out to him and much respect and love to him, because he's a great brother, and I can't say enough about him. Same thing with Traylon Curry and the whole of the Untouchables team, Fatty, Adrian, Nicole, 40, and a lot of their supporters and their mods that have helped kind of encourage me to keep going. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. Because I really do believe that this platform, we got a message, and that in having this message, it's not easy. But I always want to encourage the brothers and the sisters. Ali has been instrumental in kind of reshaping my mind from a social media point of view, that I can't speak to the brothers and not speak to the sisters. And it's not about demonizing or blaming anybody, but it is about holding both parties accountable and making sure that I can be held accountable myself. And so I'm of, if you feel like I'm not coming with that energy, it's a different type of show tonight in terms of that. And I just kind of wanted to, set that groundwork again, as everybody's coming in from different places. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe if you haven't, share it out, tag somebody, get them in, and let's have a great show tonight. I will be posting the link once we get through a couple of these segments. Again, give you brother the Real podcast, the HBO special. Make sure you go and hit us up. We are on TikTok. We are on Threads. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. Obviously, we're on YouTube. And we got 2 channels on YouTube. The second one hasn't really taken off yet because we haven't really started throwing short form clips there. But definitely make sure, yes. And we've got the Untouchables Discord, which is live and popping in the chat. Thank you to our number 1 mod, Gas Mask. He's got the link in the building. If you're not part of that Discord and you're watching this, definitely you need to join up that Discord. It is a whole lot of fun, great minds, great conversations, because of great people and a great visionary and leader in Fatty. He is, in my opinion, he's number 1. And so I will forever salute him. And we got, again, like I said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Threads. That's where we are. Those are the platforms that we are. TikTok. And you can find us on all platforms at DaRealReel _SCE. That is DaRealReel _SCE. When you do that, we will follow you back. We will support you. We're ramping up things, trying to get a schedule locked down that allows us to reach the masses. Salute again to everybody that is in the building. You know what? I was gonna go for the crowd, but you know what? I gotta, let's get the, yes, big salute to everybody. And you know what? Without further ado, let me just see if I missed anything liked and shared. Yes, that's Gas Mask number 1, brother. Much love to you. As we do in normal fashion, and we actually got some. This segment is going to have its own intro music. Hopefully, for those of you who are movie buffs, you'll really, I hope you'll really come to like that next week as we get into that. So as we move forward now, all right, well, bro, you're here in the building, so when I drop the link, we're definitely going to get you to come up, and anybody else who's watching, and based on what we're talking about, as we get there, definitely we're gonna drop that link and be able to get everybody up. But as we do in normal fashion, it is time for one of my favorite segments. And there's some things in this segment that I wanted to add in, didn't really get to add it in this week, but we're still going to talk about it. And this segment is rated R for realism, real talk, real vibes, real personality, real ish. Not suitable for the faint at heart. It is time for the one hitter quitter. Jeez. And it's funny, I actually had to make sure I went and searched other shows to make sure that they weren't doing a segment similar to this. Yo, y'all tell me, do y'all like this opening in terms of the outlay? I was gonna do something different with it, but I figured this was a good place to start for right now. Let me know what you guys think about the opening logo for this segment. Now, y'all know. Well, if y'all don't know, I hope y'all know. I'm a sports fan. Okay, I'm a sports fan. Primarily, I'm a basketball fan. But I started playing hockey. I mean, I'm up here in Canada, and kind of having more of a Caucasian demographic up here, especially in the '90s, mid '80s to late '80s, and the early '90s, very Caucasian dominated. And so, the sport that everybody was gravitating to was hockey. But once I picked up basketball, I kind of never looked back. And one thing that about basketball is that I like to talk about. I'm not so much into the fantasy talk when it comes to basketball. I'm more into, the facts, the stats, all of the hard stuff. As we not to play on words, but yeah, we keeping it real and we staying with the real stuff in that conversation regarding sports. And so, I don't know how you all feel about it, but where it regards basketball, I don't know what everybody expected from Bronny James. Like, realistically, I don't know what everybody expected. And the reason why I say that, and it's not to throw shade, but it's just, again, we keeping it real. When this man was coming out of, youth basketball leagues, the AAU circuit, into high school and whatnot, he was not the type of guy that was going to go out. Pardon me, I do apologize for that. He was not the guy that was going to go out and legitimately grab you. Let's say, how do I put it? He wasn't going to go up and grab you just 20 points in the first quarter, 30 points in the half, 70 points by the end of the game. That's just not him. Realistically, that was never him. And so with that, you got to understand that I don't know what everybody expected out of him coming into the league, but like, for me personally, I didn't what he's been doing is pretty much what I expected. I didn't expect anything more than this as of what he's doing right now, because at the end of the day, it just came down to a matter of, how do I put this? I mean, like, I just didn't expect anything. I didn't expect too much from him. Right? He's not a dog like that. Like, he wasn't a phenomenon or a marvel like his dad. And people just got to understand that. And one thing that this is one of my major thoughts regarding Bronny James, right? And it is just this. It is the fact that we as fans need to understand, right? That where it regards Bronny James, one, he's got to learn how to play the game at a professional level such as this. But number two, the next main thing about it is that he has to be able to find his dog. He hasn't found it till now. And the reason why I say he has to find his dog, because his dad had a dog, right? I believe LeBron James Sr. is the greatest curated businessman and professional athlete there ever was and ever will be. Now, in saying that, he also had a reason to be as great as he has become. Whether you dislike him or not, whether you think he's the GOAT or not, it doesn't matter. This is what it's going to come down to. LeBron James is LeBron James Sr. is LeBron James Sr. because LeBron James Sr., LeBron James, had a key element to a transcendent or generational talent, a la Michael Jordan, a la Kobe Bryant. Well, maybe not Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's situation was different, but let's say a la, and same thing with Michael. His situation was a little different because his family was middle class. But for any player that is great, that we would regard as great, there's or notable, there's a certain amount of their story that is revolved around what? Struggle. And I don't believe that there. I should say it like this. I believe the same reason why Michael Jordan's his sons didn't really pan out to phenomenons in basketball, is because there was no real struggle. Michael came up at a time of segregation and still vehement racism. Right? I mean, if he had grown up in this generation, who knows? He might not have been the killer that he was on the court. I do apologize, y'all. I've been up. I'm running on limited sleep. But anyways, I digress. And so, yeah, his sons, Michael Jordan's sons, they weren't going to be him. Now, is that the same for every NBA star that has had a son in the league? To this point, yes. The only exception there is, and which is minutely different because LeVar Ball never played in the league, is LeVar Ball. The Ball sons were far and above a different case in that regards. And maybe we can speak on some different ones. Like, I don't know if we really expected Bull's son to really come out and be anything great. But he made it, and he is somebody who is he's a role player. I don't think he's been given the time to really develop into something more than that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a business, right? So we got to understand that's exactly what it is. And so in understanding that, we also have to understand the same thing is for Bronny James. Now, does Bronny James have a lot of talent? Yes. Does he have a lot of IQ? Does he have a high IQ, I should say? Yes. Does he have necessary skill? Yes. But there's nothing pushing him to unlock that. Playing against his dad is not it. Playing with his dad and making history in the NBA is not it. Now, I could easily say in my fantasy world that if this was me, I am definitely trying to make sure that I'm in the gym practicing every day, body sore. I'm dad, send me your regimen, get me your nutritionist, get me all your people, and let me circumvent that what you've been doing, pops, into my regimen, because I need to hit a bell curve right now and I need to dominate in summer league or preseason or whatever it is to be able to make an impact. Whatever. Until Bronny James gets that type of mindset, and maybe he has it, and obviously as fans, we just don't know. But all I'm saying is for right now, we've got a ways to go. And he's got a ways to go. And anybody that expected more from him at this point is by and far delusional. Sorry, it is what it is. I don't care. I really don't care. Yeah, that's it. It'd be like that though. Like, you know what I mean? Why would you? And I'm just gonna end it here. Why would you expect LeBron James Jr. to be far and above greater than what he's shown or better than what he's shown so far, when his high school track record and college track record pre and post cardiac arrest has never shown that? Just saying. That's all I'm just saying. Remembering always Bill Cobbs, one of the greatest, in my opinion, kind of fatherly figure role actors within, did we want to say Black Hollywood, but we just want to say acting in general. But yes, when I look at this man, I was looking at this picture earlier as we were getting ready, and looking at his picture made me just remember all of the authoritative scenes. Like I could actually hear him I could hear these scenes just immediately popping out to me. So, salute always and rest in power to Bill Cobbs. Great actor. As you can see, the title below is actor known for The Bodyguard. He died at 90 years of age. He lived a good life, lived a full life, and is well deserved of all of his flowers. And I do believe, and I'm hoping that he got all of his flowers before he left this earth. Shout out. And this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. And you know what we got to do. We got to give him a Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco.
Bang, bang, bang.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Salute to our newest subscriber, Stan Joseph, who did message in and say he would be in. So I'm not sure if he's in the building or not. Maybe he's busy. He's got his own YouTube channel. Please, everybody, go and subscribe to him. Let's just show him some love. That's all it is. And we are glad to have him a part of the DaRealReel family. And soon enough, we hope to bring him into the real ones, and maybe even get him up here on the live stream. Who knows what we're going to be able to do? But yeah, salute to Stan Joseph. Salute to being a part of the platform. We really respect and appreciate everything that you've done just by subscribing here tonight. And again, one more time, I need to give him. We need to. Yes. Salute to Stan Joseph for subscribing and being one of the newest members and subscribers to the DaRealReel podcast. Ladies, as usual. And we're going to keep this running until the end of the year. Ladies, loving yourself is more than status and sexual prowess. If you love yourself, you got to get rid of the garbage. Take out the garbage. Your house, your mind, your heart, your body doesn't need to be encumbered with all of these bags of trash. Yeah, you don't even need to, think about this. You don't even got to separate nothing. There's no recycling to separate. It's all trash. It's all going to be going to the infirmary. So please throw it all out. Burn it up, light it up, and let it go. Because you will never realize the fullness of the greatness that is in you as a woman until you get rid of this stuff. Again, ladies, loving yourself is more than status and sexual prowess. You got to get rid of the fake stuff. And we're going to keep this message here to keep encouraging you throughout the year. Yes. Again, we're so glad for everybody being in the building, and as everybody will watch this, whether you're going to be on the live stream now or you're going to be watching it as a recorded video later, a recorded stream later, please do get the likes and the subscribes up. Share it with your peoples, especially those who are parents, whether you're single or dual parent household. I am trying to be the bigger brother that is another brother from a different mother to everybody in the house. Holla if you hear me. Definitely want you guys to do that. And as we get ready to kind of flow into our main topic, I just want to take a quick intermission so I can get one thing set up, if you all would be so kind. And we're going to do that right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't even realize say I was muted the whole time. Everybody, I am so sorry. How long have I been muted? Oh my days. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Oh my days. Honestly, and you know what the thing is, I be in other conversations and the minute somebody's muted, I'm just in there, big letters and everything, just on some, oh my days. Oh man, he said a while and he be laughing at me too. Womp womp. Oh my days. That's sad. Okay, so I don't even know now where I gotta back up from. Let's y'all know me.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
I don't even know how that happened like that. I do know how it happened. You know what the thing is because I've got two different cameras going right now, and I've got my laptop housing StreamYard, but then I've got my switchboard over here housing my mic, and I don't have to mute my mic on StreamYard, so I haven't been using that. Snap! Ah man, that's a womp womp moment. That's a real womp womp. Yeah, that's a real womp womp moment. Like, bro. Anyways, let's get into this. Let's get into this. We are dealing, as I was saying, I've been, bro. Oh my days! It's like, you know what's funny, Gas? It's like I think I saw two other streams during the day where the person was talking, and we in the chat just on some, bro, you're muted. Oh man, yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens. Um, but yeah, let's get into this. Oh, sorry, before we go on, quote of the day. It ain't nothing that you haven't heard before, and if you haven't heard it before, then I suggest you need to go and actually watch the full video. You know what? Next week, I'll pull up the full video of it, or I'll post it. Um, Simple. It's by Kobe Bryant. The job's not finished. Is the job finished? Job's not finished. There's always work to do. And until we can say that the job's finished, whether that is us working on ourselves, self-improvement, whether we are trying to maximize the time that we have with our family, accomplish things around the house, maximize ourselves in life, we remind yourself that the job's not finished, and not to put yourself down. I don't want you to put yourself down. I want you to encourage yourself. I really want you to encourage yourself that the job's not finished. No matter what anybody has to say, the job's not finished. And you don't have to feel bad about that. You can actually feel very, very good about that. And that is completely fine. So as we go now into our main topic, which is the Heartbreak Hotel, the reason or the thought behind this all is basically getting to a place where men and women and ladies, this is kind of more for you, and it's not like a shot at you, but it is more for you. Why do y'all lean on celebrity relationships? And in this generation, hashtag relationship goals. If you really just look at the individuals that you're hashtagging relationship goals to, they have, as Kevin Samuels would have said, the worst relationship mechanics ever.
Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh no. No, 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 no.
It's just like, we are looking, ladies, you're literally looking to people, both men and women, And because they happen to look good together, they managed to get past whatever argument they got past. So now they're on the red carpet and they're smiling, and you're sitting there on some, oh, don't they look beautiful together? Oh, don't they look so? I wish I could find a man like that. I wish I could find a woman like that. Like, get your head out of the sand and off of these people's butts, because most of them, I want to say most, because most sounds like I know something that's not, hasn't been released in stats and studies, right? But it's like a large demographic of these individuals, of these affluent and influential individuals, they did not have a home where they learned relationship mechanics. And then we expect them, based on their talent and how they're presented to the world, because a lot of them are really finely manicured. And I'm not talking about as in getting their nails done. I'm talking about how they have PR coaches and their acting coaches and their interview coaches and their speech coaches and their wardrobe consultants. All of these people are able to be the chisel to what we see as a final product. And I remember, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, me and my wife were watching a movie with Jennifer Lopez and I can't remember what his name is. I don't know. I don't think it's Clive Owen or whatever, but he's got that really indented, broken nose. I can't remember his name, but it's on Netflix. And he's a math teacher. And Jennifer is supposed to be doing this big concert with her Rico Suave husband or fiance or husband to be. And as she's getting ready to go on concert, it gets released that this man cheated on her with her her assistant. And so, she goes up there and she's like, she's like, what if we make magic? What if we just pick something out of the crowd? She picks at Mr. Owen, brings him up on stage. They technically do an on-stage marriage. They kiss, and then they go their separate ways. And she, I'm sorry for bringing you into my world. And the whole time, the whole premise of the movie, it's still a good watch. You guys should go watch it. As they're going through this, they end up falling for each other, but the majority of their walk is curated. It's, here's a book. This is what you need to know about me. This is what you need to know about me. But on the flip side, now, us regular folks, us average folks that are in society, we're watching this. And when specifically ladies, when you see this, immediately y'all want to dress like these women. Y'all want to talk like these women. You want to be like these women. And you don't even know how these women really came to be. You don't know the struggles they go through behind their closed doors. And likewise, to us men, we can get this way. It's not a trait that we do it, but it is something that we can do. I like this. And no shots, but for real, they are nothing like us. They don't understand. They're so far removed from average struggle, average life. And again, this is not to degrade them or to demoralize them or to demonize them in any way, shape, or form. What I'm saying is you can't have good mechanics choosing from people who had mechanics in not even installed for them, but enacted for them, if I can say that. You can't lean on examples from people who really can't. And ladies, we're going to go into this, and this is going to hurt, because this has to deal with this whole this is going to lead into this whole hypergamy thing, right? For us men, we've been knowing that's my on purpose bad grammar. Okay? We've been knowing that these guys in Hollywood, there may be a one Denzel, You know what I mean? Morris Chestnut. You know what I mean? Um, there's another one of my favorite actors. He's been with his wife a hell of a long time too. And there's a handful of male actors that are they're a living definition of commitment, long-term commitment. They are the definition of long suffering within a relationship, not to suffer, but they are patient and they have seen their relationship through from day one before they were famous and going through, different receiving different accolades and getting to being ascended into being affluent and influential. But these ladies, and you know what the thing is, I'm gonna pick on J-Lo because she's an easy target, and I was just talking about her, right? So it has been said that Ben Affleck was warned about J-Lo. I'm going somewhere with this. Warned about her. That her diva persona, as nice as she is on camera, it is real. And maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't go that direction. And he did it anyways. And now you see people in Time Magazine and Us Magazine and Entertainment Tonight and all these tabloid shows. They just be snapping them. Oh, look, they fighting in public. Oh, Ben has had enough. And YouTube. I'm not specifically YouTube, but all of social media is going off on these people. Oh my gosh, look, he's so vexed. She's so vexed. Everybody's so vexed. Okay, great. No offense, they're so vexed, but that's what they signed up for the person they signed up for. Like this movie, there's a point where Mr. Owens, he says, I can't be in your world anymore. I don't fit in your world. He's an average guy. He's a school teacher. He's invested into his students. He loves his daughter. He, previously separated from the mother of his child, and he's doing the best that he can. And here comes along this weird situation where he has to try and make it work, not for himself, but for this woman. And he naturally actually becomes what a partner and a husband would be, because that is him. If somebody's watching, put it in the chat. He is him. I'm him. Put it in the chat. He was him. But everybody in the movie, and it's just like in real life, in everyday society, we tend to lean to these people not understanding the weight of their story. And Gas Mask said it right. It's idol worship at its finest. We know nothing about these people, but yet still we are willing to swear by them. And if we have to, fight other people for them. And to me, that's the thing that doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense for you to fight somebody or for a group of individuals that you don't know how they're living. You don't know anything about them any more than where their lint trap is. So I want to run down this, and I didn't really mean to go with Ben and Jen first, but I was already on the topic of Jennifer, right? Will and Jada, for years, people, I'm my head is itching. I think I tie my do rag a little bit too tight. You know what I mean? Y'all should know I'm at home. So we gonna get into this right now. Will and Jada. So now we got Will and Jada, and people love them off for years. They have really gene wise, it was a great collaboration. They had some really good looking kids, but there was something about Jada, just as much as there was something about Will, that when these two people were getting together, Will was warned, do not go after Jada. And the fool did it anyways. Now, everybody's free to love who they're going to love, right? But again, we're talking about taking examples from people who never had the archetype for how to walk into and through what they were about to enter into. We're talking about groups of people that relatively did not understand what it really would have taken to be resolute into what they were presenting in front of the whole world. And so because of that, now we have to understand that we cannot assign, okay? We cannot assign things to individuals just because we want so much to herald them as, how do I say, we want to put them up somewhere so much because it's either it makes us feel better about where we are or what we have or what we don't have, or maybe it makes us feel better about the mistakes that we made, maybe, just maybe. And we need to take a step back and be thankful for what we're not. Because oftentimes I really believe that what you are not is the ingredients, those missing elements. The fact that it is not there can push you to want to materialize that or get that trait so you can become the full picture of what you're trying to be. And so within the scope of a relationship, it's amazing how our women, and I'm not just talking about black women, I'm talking about all nations, nationalities, creeds of people. It is amazing. I find it amazing that our women have heralded women within the substratum of Hollywood as being the examples of relationship goals or the nucleus of relationship goals. And that is not the truth about who these people are. When it comes to relationship, none of these people, and I'm talking about specifically the ones that we are specifically going after, the ones that we're specifically looking at. So if you go back to the thumbnail, it really doesn't have the Ben Affleck and the Ryan Gosling and none of those people on it. Why? Because those are not who we tend to want to fashion our relationships, and our women do not want to tend to fashion themselves after the women that Ryan Gosling has chosen. They're not trying to be any like those women. But Cardi B gets married with Offset, and my Cardi B relationship goals, yay. Will and Jada, oh yay. Oprah and Stedman, yeah. And you don't know you don't know their mindset to what they've entered into. The majority of them, it's a business arrangement. And that's the sad thing, because union was not meant to be a business arrangement. We've relegated it to business arrangement because we lack the key fundamental principles of understanding how to take a relationship from the titles of boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, engagement, courtship, to legacy. Will and Jada. Will was told not to get into a relationship with Jada because primarily of her affinity for one Tupac Shakur. And so much so that he thought he could change her mind. And one thing that rings true, and if there was a point to be made, I'd make my first point by saying this: men, we have to understand that women will always gleam to their archetypes. They will always gleam first to their archetypes. That does not necessarily mean that you are not somebody for them. But if you're dating, especially you young guys that are, in high school, college, you have to understand there's a certain demographic of women that when they seem like, or when let's call them it's too good to be true.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
You're too good to be true. It's just too much. Yeah, she's about to run off the cliff. Wile E. Coyote. She's about to run off the cliff. And primarily here's the reason why. Is because she's choosing from flawed mechanics. And so when the modern woman, I should say, to be grammatically correct, when she is going after her life, trying to mirror that of what she's seen in Hollywood, she will always have a problem. And ladies, here's the major problem, and this is really what the meat and the bones that I wanted to get at. A woman in Hollywood, let's say she's the leader, she's going after the man that she wants, she's headlining the top movies, action, drama, romance, you name it, comedy, romance comedy, whatever it is. She's leading these different movies. She's in the different places. She's on Broadway, but yet still she's downtown at the film festival. She's at Fashion Week in Paris. She's at courtside at the basketball games. She's a woman of all women. Yet still there's something to be said about her that is missing. And it's not missing to her, because she'll never see that type of woman will never see it as something that she's missing. And that's the trap. That's the problem. That's the Kobe versus LeBron. ISO. These women in Hollywood will never know if they are tired of their dating market, if they're tired of their situation. They will never be able to know what it is to deal with the peace and experience the peace of the average man that would not, I will not use the word worship them, but will love them into submission. That will love them into peace. That will love them into, oh, this is what love is. They'll never experience that type of guy. And rightfully so. Their atmosphere has disqualified them from that. Now, ladies, as you climb corporate ladders, you open your businesses, you do what you got to do to get ahead. That is great. And it is never a problem. You're supposed to be an adult. I am not. We do not. You know what? We do not glorify independence as a title over here on the DaRealReel podcast because you managed to be an adult. Well, I'm an independent woman. Great. As I've said before, you should have been independent from high school. And if somewhere you managed to be dependent through high school, I would have hoped that college or university or the workforce would have changed that for you. But I digress. Ladies, your atmosphere will disqualify you. You will always have options, but you will only have options at your level. the guys that would be you would deem that would be beneath you, you'll never really have access to those men, because those men will only see you as one of two, maybe three opportunities: gratified sex, the proverbial head on the wall. I took down that beast, or a short-term fix for a short-term formula for a long-term fix. What does that mean? You allow him to have the right space and time to be able to fix up himself and move elsewhere, because you do not embody the qualities that he needs, because he does not fit your life. And a lot of women will say, well, what does that matter to us? If he doesn't fit his life, he needs to get on and go somewhere. Yes, that you're 100% right. But when you do go to the guys that you feel fit within your frame and your atmosphere, you got to ask yourself this question: do you fit what they got going on? Are you going to be able to be slotted into their schedule? Because if not, there's going to be this cycle of repetitive cycle, and it's going to continue. Like, when can we all be honest for a minute? And you know, for those who are lying to themselves, before I even say this, yeah, I said it. Women can only pick from where they're the level where they're at. That's where they're best suited. So if they're in corporate towers, Trump towers, they got to pick from all the men that are in Trump towers, because the men that are below them are not suited for them, and they are not suited for that man. But how dare you believe that you can just fit into anywhere? As if your degree of hypergamy has not separated you from having access to average men that may just possess above average qualities to love you. It's funny how that works, because they will disqualify him based on how he looks and the money and income, not understanding, not even knowing that he has the intellectual and emotional capacity likened unto a Fortune 500 company owner or CEO. But you'll never give him a chance, because your mind is fixated on mirroring people you don't know. Oh, y'all want to tell me I'm lying? Y'all want to tell me I'm lying? I love that. How do we know that y'all ladies have been lied to and will forever have a ticket or a key card or a room at the Heartbreak Hotel? Beyonce and Jay-Z. I still hear people on podcasts referencing them as a power couple, not remembering that Solange almost gave him the Floyd Mayweather mixed with the Mike Tyson in the heyday. She gave him the old slip rope and dope, popped her hip, jumped to the side, and almost and she did let off a couple shots. She was, like, she got him. It was a problem. But yet still Beyonce saying, to the left, everything you own in a box to the left. But I can replace you. There, I can have another you in a minute. No, you can't. And you prove that you's a liar and a charlatan by the mere fact that you did not even address how your husband, Jay-Z, was cheating on you. So much so, your younger sister had to step up for you. And I would have hated to see that situation when it broke down. If there was any situation, if there was any conversation to say, well, you didn't have to hit him. You should have remembered that we're in the public. There's always eyes. Man, shut up. Please, please go somewhere with that. And so I say that to say this is that ladies, you got to take your eyes off of these people. You can admire them for their physical pulchritude. You can admire them for the weight of their talent and the execution of it. Curated and curated as it may be, you can almost, I want to say, fawn after it. But you must get to a point where you understand that if you are going to have a healthy relationship, you need to work on not choosing from flawed mechanics. And flawed mechanics usually comes from what we would call over here on the DaRealReel podcast as trauma tribing. You rest in the traumas of other people because you have you have, as they would say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. But because you share a certain pulchritudinous, you tend to join yourself to that trauma. And likewise, the older women, aunts, grandmamas, great grandmamas, when you relegate your sister, when you relegate your daughter, when you relegate your niece, when you relegate your goddaughter, granddaughter, whoever it is, when you relegate them to your trauma, you imprint upon them that no matter what they do, they will never be able to experience love and care and protection from a man who doesn't require much from them. And that is not true. And so, older women, you need those who are veteran of age, you need to be at a place where you can understand how to speak life into your daughter, how to speak life into your nieces, how to granddaughters, etc., and other women around you, because it does not make sense for a woman to be hurt by something that she has not personally experienced, but because she looks and carries the same body demographic as somebody else, as another woman, that she has immediately become one with that person. She has yoked, she has symbiosis with that woman's hurt, even though she's never experienced it. That is not a healthy place to be, and it never will be. And so we find that there's a lot of jaded individuals going around in this society for things that they've never even experienced. You upset now, not because of something that didn't happen to you, but because this person and that person's relationship didn't work out. So now you got to ask yourself, what do you want? Because if you want something that's going to last longer, you're going to have to tell some things to, and you're going to have to come out.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Not like you. You're going to have to come out from the losers immediately, if not before, so that way you can have better outcomes. And maybe it's not just the outcome, it's seeing better, it's thinking clearer, it's being able to have your speech seasoned with salt. In other words, it can bring to life, it can nurture, it's nourishment to some degree. You've got to be at a place where you can be able to do that. And keeping your eyes on celebrity relationships it's really not it, unfortunately. I'm not saying they're all bad examples, but too many of them are like I said earlier, they're curated individuals. Their relationship is curated. Their toothbrush is curated for them. Like it is. And you know the thing, going back to Will and JD, you know what the thing that bothers me so much about that relationship is that this mother indoctrinated her daughter about whoever and whatever Tupac meant to her, so much so that the daughter wrote a letter to Tupac saying, "I wish you could come back and make my mommy happy because like." Man, if I wish I could find this one soundbite. You know what? But we gonna go with this.
Stop it. Get some help.
Y'all need to get some help. And likewise, men, we can't be here internalizing what one woman did to us and play it out on. You're supposed to learn the lesson, not living it as it's happening now or it just happened yesterday. You need to get to a place where you can be at peace with the decisions that you're going to make because they're coming from a resolved and a resolute place. You're going to have to take the time to work on yourself. You're going to have to take the time to go to therapy. You're going to have to take the time to journal. You're going to have to take the time to go to the doctor's office and maybe have some hard conversations with the doctor that you've been running away from. You're going to have to make those jumps to take care of yourself so that way you can be a prime candidate to help take care of somebody else. You cannot give somebody what you don't have. And that's the problem that we're facing because while a lot of the women nowadays have money, they have education, they do not have the skills necessary to foster a great relationship. That is the nucleus and the substratum for legacy, especially where a man is concerned. So much so, I remember at my previous workplace, I remember that there was this lady and young lady, a single mother, and she said, I'm ready to get married. I said, what does that mean? You say you ready to get married? Like if I was to propose to you right now, you would get married? What does that even mean? And she said, nah, it's more about that, like I'm ready to, start the journey beyond dating and get to courtship. I said, what type, I mean, and this is after the pandemic. So, we are high in the midst of the questioning tactics of Fresh and Fit mixed with Kevin Samuels. So I'll make some of those questions. I said, what type of man you looking for? How tall does he have to be? What demographic does he have to be? What type of income are you looking for? And what type of life are you looking to lead? What type of life are you looking to live post-marriage? Are you trying to have any more kids? She said yes to every single one of those and was able to answer. I said, good. Now, do you know where those men are? She said, no, obviously I don't, because if I did, I wouldn't be here. I said, yeah, but that's the problem. Even if you did, are you what they want? You're thinking that it's so easy that you could go just anywhere into anywhere and just make it happen. You just gonna snap out a relationship just like that. And it don't work like that. That is not how it works at all. I'm sorry, everybody. Give me 1 second. But yeah, that is not how it works at all. And we got to get to that place where we understand that there's a possibility that it could not work like that. And that just is what it is. So ladies, you got to stop idolizing these celebrity relationships. And I'd probably say the next one, which is most important. And I'm gonna bring up something and I want to read this. I really want to read this because this is vital. I found this article regarding horoscopes because that's the next thing. That's the next thing that's hurting y'all ladies. And I hear it. I hear it too often regarding relationships and how you're gonna go about choosing. So for those that are into horoscopes, and this is pretty much where we're gonna bring this to a close, because I'm mad tired, y'all. when it comes to horoscopes, why do you ladies use it? Matter of fact, do y'all know that the only reason why men learn, the majority of men that do know these horoscopes and know them off the top of their tongue, that's game. That's game. It ain't nothing else. It is just game. I ain't got nothing more to say to it about that than any. Like, it is goofy. It is real goofy to be in a situation where you're making relationship choices based on the fact that somebody might be a Sagittarius and the other person might be a Capricorn. Like, are you serious right now? It is utterly ridiculous. And sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just had to, I really had to, like, to just think for a minute. It was just like, what, like, why? Here it is. Perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. Anybody saw that, y'all leave me alone, man. Tired. I'm running on maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep, if that. Actually, 3. Trust me, we about to call it quits after this. I'm gonna read this and then we gonna end it there. As soon as this thing loads. And you know what? I actually might. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys just so you guys can see this article that I'm about to get into. Okay, so this is why your zodiac sign is probably wrong from someone who knows. Astrology suggests incorrectly that each sign of the zodiac fits neatly into a 30-degree slice of the sky. Written by James B. Kaler, published January 23rd. What is this? January 23rd, 2024. Last updated January 31st, 2024. I was born a Capricorn. Please don't judge me. But the sun was in the middle of Sagittarius when I was born. As a professor emeritus of astronomy, I am often asked about the difference between astrology and astronomy. The practice of astrology, which predicts one's fate and fortune based on the positions of the sun, moon, and moon, stars, and planets, dates back to ancient times. It was intermingled with the science of astronomy back then. In fact, many astronomers of old made scientific observations that are valuable even today. But one Copernicus, Kepler, and Galileo realized the planets orbit the sun rather than the earth, and Newton discovered physical laws behind their behavior. My gosh. Behind their behavior, astrology and astronomy split, never to be reunited. The science of astronomy is now at odds with one of the basic organizing principles in astrology, the dates of the zodiac, the constellations of the zodiac. Over the course of a year, the sun appears to pass through a belt of sky containing 12 ancient constellations or groupings of stars. They are collectively called the zodiac and consist almost entirely of animal figures, like the ram, Aries, crab, Cancer, and Leo, lion. It is a disappointment to many that the constellations only rarely look like the constellations only rarely look like what they represent. How could they, since they are truly random scatterings of stars? They are meant to to represent, not to portray. Although the constellations of the zodiac, which date back to Mesopotamia, or before, may seem definitive, they are only one example of those produced by various cultures of the world, all of which had their own frequently very different notions of how the sky is constructed. The Incas, for example, made constellations not from stars, but from the dark patches in the sky, in the Milky Way. The number of constellations in the Western zodiac comes from the cycles of the moon, which orbits the Earth 12.4 times a year. Roughly speaking, the sun appears against a different constellation every new moon, the stars reforming a distant backup to the sun. Though the stars are not visible during daytime, you can know what constellation the sun is in by looking at the nighttime sky. There you will see the opposite constellation. And I'm not going to go on and read this because it's pretty lengthy. Long story short, the constellations, these horoscopes that we love to swear by and say, "Oh, I do this, it's in my blood because I'm a Libra." Well, being rude was in my blood because I was a jackass, but such were some of us. And there must be a time where we graduate from that and no longer act like that. And so we've got to get to a place where the things that don't make sense, we're not putting them in positions of power or high influence in our day-to-day life. And when you're choosing an aspect of a relationship and you're looking about going those things, idolizing and trying to mimic or recreate what is in J-Lo's life or some random actress's life, trying to mimic her in your everyday life, ladies, is going to set you up for failure and a life of discomfort and, in some cases, a little bit of discontent. But that is not our wish for you. Our wish is that you guys would be prosper in everything that you do, including and up to relationships. However, if you cannot do this, then you need to step away and get the help you need necessary to be able to have the outcomes that you want. And that is necessary. Without further ado, we're going to end it here. Ladies and gentlemen, my eyes are burning. I don't know if you saw me. It may have, some people may will see this and they'll be like, "Hey, yo, Conrad, what you on, man? I ain't on nothing more than only 2 to 3 hours of sleep." And it is finally caught up with me. So I'm going to go rest. I'm going to relax and catch up for the weekend and get some much needed sleep in. Y'all be blessed. I love y'all for coming through. Shout out to Gas Mask. Shout out to Stan Joseph. Shout out to Crate Nation. Shout out to Will Nicosi. Shout out to Sophisticated Jerks. Shout out to my boys. Shout out to the family. I love you all. Peace in the T-Dot streets and in the Middle East. It was good rocking out with you. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Peace.